talking in the monologue about all the things that can go wrong in a house. And in some ways, we're lucky to have those things in our homes, right?
Yes.
Running water, plumbing,
Yes.
a roof, insulation, whatever it may be. And, you know, a lot of these things can be healthy. A lot of these things can maybe be built in unhealthy or unecologically friendly ways.
Yeah.
You were actually just in Cuba, and it's really kind of an interesting contrast to think about what we have to look for in a house. Like, I don't want one iota of a water leak in my house.
Yeah.
And then you go to maybe a place like Cuba, and they're like, I would love a roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty different.
It is. The houses there are mainly concrete. And, you know, they have like some 3-story buildings where, you know, the first floor is concrete, second floor is concrete. Then they'll just put brick on top of the top floor, and you can tell that it wasn't necessarily designed for a 3-story structure.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of their stairways that are spiral stairways to get upstairs don't have railings on them. The upstairs decks don't have railings on them. But, you know, that's what they've grown up with. That's what they're used to. I certainly came back with an appreciation for, you know, good plumbing,
Right.
Hot water, and, you know, water pressure. Because, I mean, I did have some hot water there, but the pressure in the shower was pretty low. But, you know, those are just kind of things you get used to here, but also they're not necessary, right? You know, it's just a comfort level.
Mm-hmm.
So the visit there was quite extraordinary. The people are very loving, very open. But, you know, there's dirt streets, and it's definitely still a third world country.
So when you start, you do a lot with making homes healthier here. I mean, we've talked about the electricity that goes through a house, and you know, maybe the impact that has on your body, or the stuff that's in our drinking water, or you know, we've covered a laundry list of different items that keep people healthy inside a house. When you go to a place like Cuba and you see these homes are really built for shelter, and nobody's worried about, you know, they're worried about maybe clean drinking water, but no way are they worried about if it's running directly into their 19 faucets perfectly.
Right.
I mean, how does that give you that a change in perception when you come back here and now you're inspecting homes maybe for such a different reason?
Well, I just get, you know, you get an appreciation. We still have our standards here that we want to achieve, but I just get an appreciation for the comfort and the luxury we have. You know, even people, you know, that aren't wealthy. I mean, even the people that we wouldn't consider to have a lot of money live in comfort and luxury compared to our neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, even in Mexico and other third world countries. Well, Mexico's not third world, but, you know, in the southern hemisphere as well as elsewhere in the world, we just have it. And I don't, you know, without experiencing it, right, you know, it's hard to imagine the difference.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, we have clean drinking water coming out of our faucets. You don't drink the water down there, you know.
Right.
You drink filtered water.
Right. Well, but I mean, that's just a huge difference in scope of what we expect. Now, granted, houses down there, or, you know, the concrete structures are not $300,000, $400,000, $500,000.
No.
So there's definitely, we're paying for a lot of this luxury where they are not.
Yeah, but yes, actually, there was a house for sale that one of the pastors that we went down to visit was looking to buy, and it was interested in buying. It was $13,000, which included some property that he would allow him to have a service there also. But you have to consider that part of the team I went with, they stayed with a doctor and an architect, a husband and wife, young, but, you know, and the doctor makes $25 a month. So a $13,000 house, you know, they built their house for $22,000, and it's a nicer home, and you know, and they have an upstairs where they rent out. So a lot of the hotels, what's considered a hotel there, is just a house that has extra rooms to rent, and their house is now worth around $50,000. But that's pretty good for down there.
Sure.
I mean, if you're making $25 a month.
Yeah, it must have low mortgage rates, or it must be very long terms or something, right?
No, it's all cash.
Okay.
There's no mortgages down there. It's if you want something, you have cash, and that's it.
Yeah, well, they're probably not in as much debt as we are either. Scott, so when you start looking at, the luxuries, as you say, we live in, and the way people live in other parts of the world, which you've been, I guess, lucky enough to frequent.
Yeah.
When you come back here and you see, your role in the real estate industry,
mm-hmm.
There's nothing like that down there, is there? I mean, you're unique in our own market, let alone in some of the international markets.
That's true. Yeah,
there's like 50 people who do what you do in the country.
Yeah, or in North America.
In North America, I mean, you have an incredible expertise in the industry of creating sincerely and truly healthy homes.
Yes.
You must see a vast difference between what you do. I mean, there might not be somebody who does what you do in the entire country of Cuba or in Florida and Cuba and all the other islands. I mean,
yeah. Well, and just being my first time there, I didn't necessarily want to point out things that I saw down there. But yeah, I mean,
it's a good way to make some friends.
They just have wiring sticking out, like bare wires sticking out of the wall, and you got light fixtures that. There's just two wires coming out. There's no electrical boxes, and all the plumbing's run outside because it never freezes down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then but basically, I'm actually looking at the possibility of being able to go back to these countries with the idea of helping to create. I mean, especially with electricity, it's kind of important. Especially for kids, growing up and stuff, not to be near that when they're sleeping and stuff. So I'm actually looking at the possibility of being able to maybe develop this and go back. And the only way you can get into Cuba right now from the U.S. is the missionary visa. That's the only way the U.S. will allow you to go into the country. And Cuba is open because there's been a lot of missionaries from around the world. Canada can go there freely. I think every country probably can go there freely except for the U.S. And so with the missionary visa, I did go down with the missionary team. And, we went down to support the pastors and the people there. But I'm looking to come back potentially and add that element of health and be able to help them learn some stuff. So teaching, because everywhere in the world it's important for these principles.
Well, and when you start considering the amount of knowledge that they probably have about this, which is probably, literally zero.
Yeah.
Even bringing some insight to their world of what a lot of the clean water and, smart run electricity means. I mean, these aren't necessarily projects that somebody couldn't do on their own to their own living space, but they don't even know what to do, how to do it, or even that it's important.
You're right, and they don't have internet access. And so they have email, but they can't just
How do they get their email if they don't have internet?
Well, they have internet, but they don't have, they can't just go search the internet, right? It's like through the universities and other organizations that they have email. But it's not like, I wonder if, and Google,
I wonder if this electricity is bad.
Yeah.
When really they think electricity is great. They have, it's just such a difference of perception, of the necessity of something versus, it's not perfectly set up.
Right. And there is a high incidence of cancer there. So, there are things that are going on and that hopefully, we can address and help them, and because they are opening up more the whole country, and I think the U.S. is actually opening up to more people going there. So they definitely need help. It's a lovely country. It's it's definitely third world still, but I think it's an opening up opportunity in the future.